Everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about keeping your eyes on the prize. We're going to jump right into Matthew 14:22, and it says, "And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and go before him unto the other side while he sent the multitudes away." So sometimes Jesus will send us away into a storm or a hard time. And just because it's a storm and just because it's really hard doesn't mean it's not in God's will. Matthew 14:25 through 26, it says, "And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and they cried out for fear." Okay, so here they're in the midst of the storm. They are struggling in the night, and Jesus is watching them, and he's walking on the water. And first the disciples thought that he was a ghost, and they cried out in fear. Okay? Sometimes Jesus never leaves us. And first of all, he never leaves us or forsakes us. But sometimes he's right there in the midst of our storm, and he's just waiting for you to cry out to him. Then we go to Matthew 14:27 through 31, and it says, "But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it thou be, bid me come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind boisterous, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, where did thou doubt?" Okay, so Peter, he calls unto Jesus and says, if it be you, tell me to come out in the water, I'll come. And so he steps out of the water, and Peter's walking on water. He has his eyes on Jesus. But then he gets distracted from what's around him. He gets distracted by the winds and the waves and the storm around him, that he starts to fear what's around him, and then he starts to sink. And sometimes that's like us. When we take our eyes off Jesus, we get distracted by fear and doubt and anxiety and worry, that we start to sink, not physically sink, but in our spiritual walk. God woke me up in the middle of the night. I had this anxiety and this fear and this doubt that something in my past would I guess something bad would happen to me. And I had this fear that something bad was going to happen to me. And I got up in the middle of the night and I started to pray, and God spoke to me about this sermon. Sometimes we get distracted from what's around us, but we need to keep our eyes on the prize, and that is Jesus. I know it's a very short lesson, but I hope this helped you out. God bless you guys. Until next time, see you later.